This is working. Yep. Trying kind of just a sort of a one-off thing. I'm not planning to do this every time, but I wanted to kind of do a stream without actually streaming, because there was a handful of clips that I wanted to try doing a video of, and being able to just do kind of a casual video. It's easier to manage. How do I not have any bloods? Bullshit. Bullshit. Anyways, also because I finished that run, that last game of the old Into the Radius 1.0, basically cashed that game out completely, and I wanted to play more of this game I got recently called Ancient Dungeon VR, which is kind of like Delver, but in VR. With a handful of twists. But it's mostly what they call a voxel game, kind of like Minecraft, where it's an intentionally low poly, low texture, kind of like this. Like look at this guy. Wow. Oh, well. Can I open this? I guess not. Anyways, so yeah, I wanted to play some clips, and I'll just get into that because I'm not doing a stream. Even though I got this stuff open, it says, the chat thing, because the chat window is basically always open when I have OVR, which is, or not OVR, but OBS. OVR is what I use to bring up the soundboard. It's OVR Toolkit. But OBS is what I use to record. That's the open broadcast software. In order to have the soundboard open, I have to have this whole thing open, which includes the chat. And also this thing that shows the time. And, oh no, the time is sort of covering. I don't have to have this or that. I just kind of want to try this just sort of offline, a non-stream stream. And then I could just upload this to the Subscribe Star. So anyone who might want to watch our streams, I do plan to do streams again, just I'm going to do one in the new year, once it's 2024, and right now it's the 28th of December. So, I have a bunch of clips, all queued up, along with bumper clips in between. So I'm just going to get into playing them right now. The first one is kind of a bumper clip.
Activate their security protocols, cancel the lockdown automatically. AKA, start a giant fucking fire.
Oh, Heller. Hope you didn't hurt your brain there.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Nick's toasted. Cedar Rose says you're too drunk, Nick. Go to bed.
Uh-oh. Got him. Ga. Gullibility.
Cedar Rose. You're too drunk?
That got to him.
Is that a challenge, girl?
It got under his skin.
Is that a challenge?
As usual.
I am far from too drunk. Am I drunk? Probably. Too drunk? That's debatable. I read this already. The whole thing. Did we do the whole thing last show? We already went through this article last show.
He's just
fucking. Oh, the full thing earlier. The full thing. No. Oh, I did. No, I remember this. Holy shit. You're right. Hold on. This show. No, I got it. I didn't recommend. I didn't recognize those paragraphs. I recommend these. Just a second.
He's losing it. He's just
dude. I didn't even realize I finished it. The article doesn't say anything. Look, you got two options.
Oh, do you?
You can be mad at me.
Yeah, everyone's mad at him.
Or you can be mad at me.
I
didn't realize I was that early because I recognized the last third of the article, but not that part. 60% alcohol. It's not even that bad, bro.
Oh, it's
Too drunk, go to bed.
Guys,
Cedar Rose, don't. You didn't
not
come to
even
my
that
live comedy show, Cedar. Why would I listen to you?
why would anyone go to his live comedy show?
I thought you guys were telling me I did it a different day. Turns out I was just on a different spot in the article, and I didn't remember the beginning of the article because I don't remember gay shit.
Oh,
already,
see.
we are 0.0 seconds in.
Oh no.
This is the face of a cuckold.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I hope y'all are doing well. There's a holiday season. I know it can be very stressful for people. I know all sorts of shit to make it go right or wrong. But I hope you and yours are doing fantastic.
The whole point of this is to do a lot of pausing. This may be a shorter video than the usual streams, because the streams are like, I'm just trying to hang out and enjoy myself. With this one, I might just play the game while listening. I was like, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be adding transformative commentary. I basically feel like I've closed the case on Rekieta. I've said everything that can possibly be said by anyone in the history of the human race about Rekieta. And kind of already had a long time ago. It's just that now that other people are catching on, that we were always right about Rekieta. I like this throwing dagger. Look at this throwing dagger. Wow. I kind of prefer... I'm okay with the voxel style, but I kind of prefer like a PlayStation 1 low poly style. I kind of wish more games would do that, especially in VR. Nobody does that in VR. But anyways, one thing... Oh, this one was stupid. I can have like, throw myself. Oh, it worked. Okay. Shit. A potato. Store that in my wrist. Okay. But yeah, the stuff to even say to point about Rekieta, it's basically all been done. The only thing to go over is just anytime he says something, just talk about the new things he said. But at this point, there's nothing new about Rekieta, not unless he gets into yet another car accident, but that would be just yet another one. Unless he kills somebody or something, I guess. I don't know. Which I do think is not likely, but I do think is certainly possible. And I say that knowing that... what's this? Oh, this is actually pretty good. Huh. That doesn't count as an enemy. Or those don't either. Okay, got no keys. I can't look at the chat necessarily. I may instinctively look at the chat, but there's, again, it's not an active stream, so nobody can go into the chat. But anyways, one thing I keep thinking is like, am I gonna get a key? But because I know I'm leaving a chest behind, and that's a one-way thing back there. But yeah, I don't think so. That's too bad. Anyways, the as far as the stuff about him, I do plan to do streams again, and it's actually getting a lot of views on my channel, which is funny because because we've done videos about Rekieta before, but people weren't ready for it. That's a very common occurrence with us, is we will cover and say things way too early so nobody wants to hear it. And then years later, well, there are other occurrences that are very interesting and pertinent, that when we say it early, the people who are really in the know, like the videos we did about Comicsgate back in 2018, got us some of the people in Comicsgate following us. John Malin, Micah S. Miller, but more importantly, more importantly, yeah, notice how that dropped off there. More importantly, Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini and Doug Tenaple, who had seen the dishonest behavior of Comicsgate from the beginning. Whoa, okay. What the hell is that? Oh, well, it's gone. So, you know, early on, the average normie pig cattle who was believing the bullshit about Comicsgate, they were pissed off at us. But the people who had actually seen the dishonesty of the movement, especially behind closed doors, they were like, oh, these guys are not only right, but they're the only people talking about this. So we got, a lot of insiders who started following us because we were the only people talking about it. So that was an advantage of being the first people to talk about it, but the disadvantage is that everyone claims you're wrong or that you're lying because they don't want to that what you have to say is true, or that especially that that what you say has evidence proving it. Projectile seek the target. That would be helpful. But I don't have the money. 0%. Okay. Well, I'll have one of these. How about one of these? 2. Okay. I'd almost be shocked if I saw somebody in the chat. I'd be like, oh, there's a ghost. There's a ghost in the chat. But it's literally impossible. This is supposed to increase in size, I think. Well, I think it's another one. Anyways, whatever. Another thing is that just at like a couple days ago, as after I did my, well, not immediately after I did my last stream, but after I did my last stream, and then a couple days later, the cord that I'm using to connect my headset to my PC, not only stopped working, but it was giving my PC errors, and the PC was not starting up. The PC would shut down when I rebooted because the headset wouldn't connect at all. I'm like, what the hell is that all about? So I was rebooting, and I was getting this error as soon as it was trying to reboot, saying like, we're receiving a charge and shutting down in 15 seconds to protect your motherboard. I was like, what the fuck? And so I unplugged the wire that connects the VR headset to my PC, and then it immediately worked again. I was like, that's fucked. And there is something weird about the wire. Basically, it has like some kind of internal chip that's supposed to control like how it charges, because it connects to the PC, but it also connects to a wall outlet at the same time, so that it can get an extra charge and basically play for longer. Okay. There we go. You know what? You know that one. Oh, and I got an apple. I got an apple. So, that's good. Oh shit, another apple. That's even better. So, yeah, I had to get another cord out, and this cord like has random disconnects. So it's possible while I'm playing this, I may disconnect and I will have to reconnect. I don't know what that's going to look like. It shouldn't theoretically look like anything. It may black out the game screen. But if I do that, I'm going to if that happens, I'm just going to roll with it. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, there's that. And I want to get a new cord. Because the cord I had, while it worked, it was great because it had no disconnects. It charged up nicely, all that stuff. Got a nice clear picture. I'm still getting a nice clear picture. It's just that when I'm just sitting at my desk, not playing any VR stuff, but I have this connected to the PC all the time. Anyways, just because. Fuck. I would constantly hear that sort of tone of like a USB port, like a flash drive has been unplugged. And it would be so random. It could be like 10 times a minute, or it could be once an hour or less. So, and it's this cord that I'm using right now. In fact, when I go like this, it seems to lose a little connection. I don't know. Not really. I don't know. Wow. So anyways, we'll get back to the show now. Let me just kill this one guy. Kill this guy. It does less damage when it's not big. What? Ow. Okay, now I have to kill this guy too. That was a nice crit. Here, yeah, it does 9 damage, or 11 when it's fully charged. In fact, I think it shows up sword damage 8, and sword damage 12 when I refresh it. Anyways, okay. back to the back to the actual. Oh wait, look at this thing. One of these grody things. If you get close, slamming. Okay, here, let's play more of this because I do want to get these over with. But I didn't really want to stream it. I wanted to have something a little extra on our Subscribe Star. Because we have a bunch of videos recorded, but I wanted to sort of add a little more. Like, this isn't going to take a place in the schedule. This will just straight up be a bonus for our Subscribe Star backers. At the same time, I've done so many streams that are just top-tier content. Primo top-tier content about the whole Rekieta situation. And those are going to stay, public streams. I'm not going to unlist them or anything. But when it comes to more things to say about Rekieta, there's not really much. All that's left with Rekieta is just repeating what has already been said. And in my case, it's me repeating stuff from years ago that nobody else was pointing out. And now everyone else is starting to say it. It's a lot of the exact same stuff, verbatim. If you go back a couple years on our Subscribe Star and listen to the stuff, just some of the general videos, but we did a couple Rekieta specific videos. You'll see me and my brother basically say the same stuff then that we're saying now, that even a lot of other people still haven't caught on to and should. But you'll probably never see any. You're never going to see Null or PPP ever go into depth about the Rekieta question, if you will, the RQ, if you will. They'll never go into that because it's stuff that happened directly to us. So but the thing is, it's all public information. So there's no reason for anyone else not to know about it. It's just stuff that you can look at. There are receipts in public and all that kind of thing. It's just that because it happened a few years ago, nobody talks about it anymore. But it proves that Rekieta was always like this. And a lot of people don't know that and probably will never know that. But the evidence is not only out there, but it is on our channel. It's why PPP did actually criticize Rekieta going back that long. So he was consistent basically, except that there was a brief period where him and Tardsky started going soft on Rekieta when the whole bottle situation happened. If you remember at all, you will remember that they went completely soft on him, and they did that basically because Worski wanted to. Worski was like, I like Rekieta, so they had to go. Because PPP doesn't really have a say. If PPP doesn't like somebody, but Worski does, PPP won't talk about them. He's not allowed to, essentially. Whoa. Here, let me get back to the show.
I apologize in concept, but not in actuality. I can't be sorry for it.
This is an older clip.
For a couple reasons. It's weird. I hate that December is such a fucking monster on my show scheduling consistency.
Oh, that's another thing.
Because it makes consistency is what
he just said. You know what's nice actually? When I bring that up, it pauses the game. That's good. He didn't do that for Into the Radius. Oh shit! That's right. I'm in the pop cloud. But notice how Rekieta will act like in one of the previous clips before I did the big pause there. Well, Rekieta was like, "Oh, December's such a messed up month. It's such a weird month for everyone." And basically, that's something that Ethan Van Sciver used to do. Is when somebody would criticize Ethan Van Sciver, he would say, they're attacking Comicsgate. And it's like, no, they're criticizing you. But Ethan would conflict. It's a popular, I guess narcissism is an applicable term in this sense. But pathological liar, more specifically, is that when you're trying to brainwash the normie pig cattle into believing something that's false. one of the best, most effective tricks is to conflate something that's only happening to you with something that's happening to everyone else simultaneously. So when Nick is having a bad December, which he is, he'll say, December's bad for so many people. Everyone's having a really fucked up December. And then try to claim that he's like, I think that's a clip that's going to play further on, where he starts Christianity signaling. I may have played it in the last video. I don't remember, because I kind of put all of this out of mind. I was like, I'm done with Ricada for a long time. But I was also like, what if I try recording a video? Like record a stream instead of streaming it. So so that's what I'm doing here. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of the stuff. There's a big pile of clips in the queue here, and I'm just gonna sit through and listen to all of them. And that's fine. But yeah, notice when he pulls that move of saying that, December's really bad, and then he says it's because December's bad for him, but then he'll do another video or something, or there will be another clip where he's like, December's great for me. I'm blessed with grace, and start pushing the Christianity thing, because he knows that the Christian audience has basically been dumping him because of his behavior. Oh boy, I kind of need to I'm looking for a gap. Oh wait. Okay. Gap in the map. It's very hard to see, but if you look close, there's right there basically is a little gap in the map. Okay. I think if I do these next time, I'm not going to turn on OVR Toolkit. I'll be missing this.
Amazing.
But I won't be missing the chat that's never going to have anyone in it, because it's not going to be live. Nobody can join the chat. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Also, there, that thing. Oh, wait. There we go. What? What the fuck? Oh, one of these things. This hit me. But it died. Anyways, yeah. So back to the show.
Sells tickets, so to speak. It's what gets people to streams, and I do try to be consistent throughout the year as much as possible. This year has turned into a colossal clusterfuck in a lot of ways. That they just are. It's not like they're neutral. Like they just exist.
He's being honest here. This is one of the many reasons why I didn't want to bother with Ricada clips necessarily, but the ones that are on this playlist went up after my last stream, and I was like, these ones are kind of pertinent. These are ones that are worth covering. There, see, one of those things. Anyways. Shit, almost got it. Shit, almost got it. Shit, almost got it. Shit. When it comes back, it actually will hit them if it flies through. There we go. There we go. Anyways, Ricada, that's a very interesting thing Ricada just said, though, is that he's like, oh, it's been a really bad month. And unless he's talking about something else, he's specifically referring to all the Mandy stuff coming out and his public meltdowns and his gigantic loss of audience. And he says something, he had been saying something, I think some of that will be in the upcoming clips too, but he was pointing out also that it was a bad year for him, and that he had some of the worst day of his life was this year. And it's like, you didn't have any children die, did you? Because unless that, your life is soft. So he doesn't seem to be saying what the worst day of his life is, unless it was the time he crashed the car with his fucking kid in it, which that would certainly qualify, but he doesn't say that's what it was. So it is mysterious. It's a bit confusing. But he is saying basically that his year has been going really bad, and in a way, it's like that's that right there. It's the shitty webcomics curse. Same thing happened to Ethan Ralph. Same thing happened. Basically, the same thing happened to Ricada, and many other example, or not Ricada, but Ethan Van Sciver actually, where back in 2018, we were critical. It was just criticism, just plain old criticism. It wasn't attacking, as they always say. They always claim they're being attacked when you criticize them. You can spot the dishonest person by claiming that they're being attacked, or that the whole movement is being attacked, when they simply receive criticism. It's true every single time, of every single person without a single exception in the whole of human history. But Ethan basically started Ethan started a-logging us, and the Shitty Webcomics curse in action, where his audience started massively falling off in 2019. A lot of people basically left the movement, walked away from Comicsgate to walk away specifically from Ethan. Customers and creators alike. Nurkish, Tim Lim, Mark Pellegrini, Doug TenNapel, all of them walked away from Comicsgate because of Ethan. And Comicsgate themselves would not admit that Ethan was a bad faith actor, was essentially a liability to the movement itself. It's why there is Ripaverse. It's why there is Iron Age, is because a lot of people out there were like, well, what we wanted was Comicsgate, but Comicsgate is now a liability. Comicsgate is not fucking worth it. So we'll just make our own Comicsgate. We'll just label it something else. Comicsgate's a stupid name. I told that to Ethan specifically, and he didn't get it. He got mad about that, in fact, and started making up a weird, bizarre, false story about how the SJWs branded them Comicsgate. And it's like, no, I was there before you, Ethan. I know that it wasn't that. But the thing is that I had never heard that lie before, so I was just confused. I was like, okay, I guess. And the thing is, I was taking Ethan at his word. Again, this was early 2018. So I had no idea that Ethan Van Sciver basically had a long history of being mentally ill and a pathological liar, and on and being caught scamming people, scamming customers before Comicsgate ever even existed. So, all this is a good example, showing an example. I don't really deflect a lot of projectiles. Oh, that would be good. Projectiles increase in... Oh, yeah, this is that thing. And you know what? That's actually very much worthwhile. How much money do I have? 28. I still have to go for that jackpot thing, but whatever. Anyways, here, let's go back to the Ricada clip.
Reasons have been really good.
It's working out as a video very nicely, though, so far.
Trips to go see people and go see things. Going to Mar-a-Lago was awesome. Doing my live shows in Vegas and Nashville.
Did you hang out with Trump?
Great fucking experiences, but they're very disruptive to the show and stuff like that. So they're, things that consistency there. And those are positive ones. But there have been really negative dings too, where
he mentions Nashville, and again, only thing I know about Nashville is his wife hit on other dudes. That's not fucking speculation. They came out and admitted that his wife was trying to fuck other guys at Nashville. Now, it may not have been the Nashville from this year. I think it was actually a couple of years ago. But every time he brings up Nashville, he clearly doesn't understand that he should never even say the word Nashville ever again, because it's always going to be a bad look. And it always should be a bad look, to be honest. And I don't think he understands that everyone now talks about Nashville behind his back, even if it's, again, not the one from this year, I guess. I don't know if that's what he's even referring to, though. I think he's saying that, this year was good when he went to Vegas and Nashville and stuff. And it's like, I assume this is a different Nashville appearance that isn't about how your wife was trying to fuck other dudes. But she was, so, and it was at Nashville. And so, again, when other people hear that, they're gonna, like if PPP and Worski, which I'm not even sure they're gonna fucking do much shit about it, if they're going to do another stream about him, because I think they kind of feel cashed out on him too. You notice I have to bring this out. Whoa, it's huge. Expanding dong. Dong dagger. But you have to bring it out, and it increases in power. It does more damage. In fact, here, wait, it says knife damage 2. That's not very good. But then, hold that out. Knife damage 7, which is better. And then I think I can still get other things that will stack some more damage with it. Anyways, it's very pertinent, though. Here, wait. If I... There, okay. It is pausing the game. That's good. Okay, here.
You know, life fucking comes at you sometimes, man.
Does it?
And there were times where I was dealing with some really dark bullshit in real life, and I could not come on and fake a smile some nights. And it's like, I don't
this
like
is telling.
to fake
this
shit.
Is very suspicious.
I really don't. I try to bring you guys just me. And I know that bothers people because I'm like an asshole, but I'm always an asshole with the best nature in mind. I don't want to fuck anybody over. I don't want to ruin anybody's day. Like, I might laugh at you or laugh at your thing, but it's like I'm laughing. I'm not.
This is what they call a cope, also known really as a rationalization, where he's trying to pretend he doesn't do the things that he is constantly getting caught doing. Again, if you want proof debunking what Rekieta just said a couple seconds ago, just look at Monograph. You can look at us too, though, because again, Rekieta was directly involved in having us deplatformed, and the receipts have been out there for years, and nobody talks about it because actually I have no idea why. I think ultimately because people don't want. To be honest, they don't want to hold to their principles. People don't want to know the truth. They want to be told that what they already believed was the truth. So if something contradicts that, then they just shut down. So that's ultimately what it is. But also there's, it's, people decide what the truth is based on how many people say it. Not what it is, not the evidence, nothing like that. It's like, if people don't see a lot of people saying it, they just go like, well, I'll ignore that until I see other people saying it. Like on Kiwi Farms works that exact way. If one person says something on Kiwi Farms once, everyone ignores it because they're waiting for a second person to say it. And as soon as the second person says it, then people start believing it more. When a third person says it, it becomes exponential. It's like a second person says it, then two more people will believe it. When a third person says it, 10 more people believe it. And if a fourth person says it, 100 people believe it. So, and that is why, sadly, using sock puppet accounts, it would be a viable tactic. And we still don't do it, but it would be a viable tactic. It's why other people use sock puppet accounts, is because they know they can get people to believe anything if people see more than one person who seem to be different people saying the same thing. Here, well, go back to this.
I'm not trying to cause you harm or distress. It's just sometimes you get in a shitty situation. People laugh at me all the time. Good, like that's what I'm here for. I'm here for your entertainment. Hopefully, it's because I create it, but sometimes my dumb antics create it in ways that are unexpected.
He used to never say
I hate when people we all hate when people lie about us or create some fiction and it's done for the purpose of harm.
Shit.
I try not to do that in any way. Like I give you guys genuine opinions on shit. Now, do those genuine opinions, can they be harmful to people? Yeah.
He's told people that me and my brother have sex with each other. He has completely lied. That's a complete lie, of course. And he said that because Tug had gotten caught being cuckolded by his wife, and also being friends with an actual convicted child molester, or it was a convicted pedophile specifically. He was arrested for possession of child pornography. I think that was a couple years ago now at this point. But we were mocking Tug about that, so Tug started telling people that me and my brother have sex with each other, because that goes to prove, by the way, how mad Tug was about us pointing out that he was a cuckold and so on. Also, we had done a video That's on our Subscribe Star, but it was also on the public channel, so it's not just behind the paywall. But it was about how Tug had like come groveling to the Iconic Comics guys, Tim and Mark, the guys who do Common America, saying like, you know what, I have believed some terrible lies about them. Not admitting that they were from Comicsgate, not admitting that they basically were part of a cult pushing hoaxes, not admitting that me and my brother were part of the lies that they were spreading. But Tug basically saw that, a bunch of people in Comicsgate actually saw that Common America had become its own force, and Iconic Comics was now officially its own company. So, here, just talking, I guess. But, so Tug, did a couple tweets, like, with this pathetic groveling, trying to act like, he was going to make amends with the Iconic Comics guys. And the thing is that everyone had known, again, I don't want to speak for, I don't want to speak for Tim and Mark, but I do know that everyone had been aware that that Umbrella guy has been untrustworthy, just completely untrustworthy. So Tim was like, well, if you're apologizing, we will accept your apology and forgive you or something. Basically saying that. It's like, Tim was like, I'm a Catholic. So if you're going to offer forgiveness or request forgiveness, I will give forgiveness. But as far as trusting that Umbrella guy, it was all on the surface, being like, okay, yeah, we forgive you. As long as, you're not going to walk this back later, whatever. They didn't even say that. They just said, okay, apology accepted. But the truth is that nobody trusted Tug. It was obvious that, with a long history of being a cuckold and all that shit, that he was not trustworthy, and the apology was most likely just a PR move. So me and my brother did a video where we're like, there's other people at Iconic Comics who, a couple people who had, essentially published some works through Iconic Comics who don't trust him and basically are never going to trust him. And the thing is that there's one of them, one person who put out comics through Iconic, which I won't mention who that is, even though it's not really a fucking mysterious thing, but it's not even that important. It's just, I pointed out, it's just the opinion of some creators. It's some kind of challenge, boss. I don't want to do this yet. I can come back here, though. But the thing is that two of the people was me and my brother. And I didn't point that out because, first of all, it's not pertinent who it is. The point is that Tug was making an apology about pushing lies about Iconic specifically. And I was here simply to say that, people at Iconic don't trust him. Or some people, not the people, not all of the people, but some people just are like, you know what, this is horseshit. And also, not just that, it was a way of basically putting out a video where it's like, he's apparently a child abuser. Not apparently, but Tug really is an actual child abuser. He is very clearly had neglected his responsibilities to his children and to his family, clearly, especially considering that he's getting a divorce now. But he had neglected his family because he had essentially used them as a prop, as a troll shield. He had faked death threats against his children in order to get sympathy on the internet. That, I consider that child abuse. I consider that neglect, which is abuse. It's not really I consider, it just is. So yeah, we did a video where we were like, well, here's people at Iconic who don't really accept the apology. And really, it was deserved, of course, because he was apologizing disingenuously. And again, especially because, whoa, shit. Especially because when Tug had faked death threats against his children, he blamed us for the fake death threats, the death threats that he had fabricated and made up and refused to prove. And we basically, all we had to say about that, about Tug's accusations about us, was go ahead and look at the evidence. And nobody did. And especially Rekieta. We challenged Nick Rekieta to be like, okay, go, if you're going to push this lie, go ahead and look at the evidence. And instead, Rekieta's response was to have that Umbrella guy on to push this story, as well as many other people in Comicsgate on YouTube and so on. Literature Devil, Just Some Guy, several other people in Comicsgate that we are not even aware of because, they're just basically irrelevant. And again, this was before we did the video about the Iconic Comics thing. In fact, it's funny is that that was in like 2019 when Tug started making up death threats against his children and blaming us. And getting his fans to flag us for making death threats against his family. And so our channel started getting mass flagged constantly. And then after that, like the next year, our channel started getting mass flagged again by one of Tug's other friends, Liam Gray, for what he claimed was... Oh, well, that sounds nice. But Liam Gray claimed that we had stolen his copyright by posting his comic, which basically wasn't true. And in fact, he had false flagged our channel multiple times over, with also very important to point out, Ethan Van Sciver, fully in support of Liam Gray doing this publicly, had made posts and comments about this until the PR about it blew up in Ethan's face. And then all of a sudden, our channel got banned and taken off YouTube entirely. And when that happened, people started going after Ethan for supporting that. And so Ethan suddenly threw Liam under the bus, and it became this giant thing where Liam was kicked out of Comicsgate. Liam didn't know why. Liam was confused. His sales dropped off and so on and so forth. And Ethan kept making taunting videos about him, saying, he actually said, all you have to do is kiss the ring and I will let you back in. There are clips of Ethan saying this. And again, even the people on Kiwi Farms don't talk about this. The people, PPP and Warski could jump on this right now. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to fight this thing. But anyways, yeah, I'm just going over this because it's a lot of stuff that gets forgotten about or nobody seems to remember and nobody talks about. But they should, because it's all pertinent and it continues to prove everything we had been saying since the very beginning. Here, though, I basically lost track of what my point originally was. But it's essentially that, it was because of all that stuff. Because we had pointed out that that Tug was, came groveling to Iconic, and we did a video where it's like, here's a couple people at Iconic saying that Tug's a cuckold. Because he is. Because here's evidence that he's a cuckold and that kind of thing. And again, those videos are just available for anyone to go enjoy, because those are pretty good ones, too. Because of that, Tug started telling people that me and Brother were in an incestuous relationship. It was just straight up because he was mad. That was the whole thing. And Rekieta pushes that because Rekieta was such good friends with Tug, who again was faking death threats against himself and blaming us to try to get our channel banned off of YouTube, just because we had criticized Comicsgate. That was originally it, is that we had criticized Comicsgate. So Tug started making up fake death threats against himself and his family, specifically his children, and blamed us for it. And there is still more to that story too, but again, it's just all out in the open. There's for anyone to have looked. I could go into more detail about how that started too, but that's basically all it is. Is Tug faked death threats against himself and blamed us. Whoa. Okay. Anyways, here, let me just. But yeah, that's it. That proves that whole story. Proves that when Rekieta says that, you know, he's never attacked anyone or lied about anyone, he lies about us constantly, me and my brother, and me specifically. There are many, and that is, again, not a new thing either. Tug bringing that up was about a year ago. It was 2022 is when he tried to start this rumor, and again, Yellow Flash would push it and all that stuff, and it was on par with the fake death threats against his family. The fake death threats against his family was 2019. So, yeah, that is when that started. And from there, it's just been a series of pathological liars lying pathologically, including that Umbrella guy, Yellow Flash, Nick Rekieta. So when Nick Rekieta says he doesn't lie about anyone, we're the living proof that he does. And if you want to confront him about that, feel free. If you want to mock him about that, what really gets under his skin is bringing us up. Like nothing before. Nothing gets under Rekieta's skin like mentioning me.
Absolutely. If some people are awful people and deserve...
And if you want to... that's his rationalization about, like, even Monograph is like, well, they're awful people, but specifically about us. And his criteria for awful people is they criticized me or they made fun of me. Again, challenge Nick Rekieta. Anyone listening right now, challenge Nick Rekieta to bring up any proof of us, of me and or my brother, or just me specifically, whatever, being awful. But specifically, if you really want to get under Rekieta's skin, if you want to drive him up the fucking wall, tell him, you say you never lie about people, but you lie constantly about that Thomas Royloop guy. Bring that up, and you'll see Rekieta's skin crawl physically on stream, as we had seen many times before the Johnny Depp thing, before the Rittenhouse thing, before Rittenhouse was even known, before he shot anyone, before Johnny Depp was in any trial at all. We had been making Rekieta's skin crawl live on his own stream. I have I actually backed up a couple of the streams where we just have driven him up the wall without me even engaging with him. He brings me up and fucking, without any prompting, he brings me up and starts fucking seething hilariously. And other people had to bring that to my attention because I didn't watch it and I didn't really care otherwise, but I do think it is funny at Nick's expense. I was here.
Ridicule. But, you know, I try to be pretty good natured, but that doesn't mean I'm immune from criticism or critique. I just always want the criticism and critique to be based on the actual story, because usually...
Again, we do that.
Look at me. Look at me. Like, take a look. I'm a goofy, silly motherfucker who does dumb things.
You're also a pathological liar. I've lived a long time,
and I've created this insulated space where I get to be that.
You're whiny.
Most of the shit I do is retarded enough to make fun of. You don't have to add context to it.
Retarded is a nice way.
But some people do, and there's no avoiding it. Like, there's no...
Retarded is a very nice way of him to put... See, this is him trying to soften it by being like, it's just goofing around, you guys. But again, Nick, you are a pathological liar who has joined in on your friends deplatforming people. You are anti-free speech while trying to pretend that you're for it. That alone makes you a pathological, mentally ill liar. I consider that alone grounds for deserving of cirrhosis. I'll just put it as cirrhosis. I'll keep that soft as well.
Avoiding it, there's no correcting it. Some people just do. But some of that shit does suck. Usually because it has a ripple effect on other people, but it's part of the game, I guess. So you can't get too worked up about it. But that being said, like I'm here for your entertainment. Is that an Adam Lambert song? That's gay.
Yes,
literally.
You are, Nick.
But it's like mostly at the end of the day, I want people to be happy. I want them to get something out of the show. Sometimes it's me being a retard and them getting to benefit from it, and that's fine.
Sometimes.
That's an okay thing.
Shit.
But there are times that come at you that are really actually dark. And for people who
Again, like
are
what?
watching and observing
I want to know
online,
what.
you see like some things and you see internet drama, and then there's like real shit in your life that's happening. And people like commingle those because like, oh,
Do they?
this internet drama is a thing that's occurring.
Is it?
This person is also in a place like a dark place, and they assume that they must be intertwined because those are the things that happen. And the internet is not completely separated from real life, right? Like there are things that overlap, and they definitely impact everything you do. There's no anybody who tells you otherwise, like, oh, all internet stuff will never impact you. No, it will. It absolutely will. Often in unexpected ways, both good.
It's kind of like putting off that whole thing about him. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, does it? Okay. Just give me the treasure. Shut up. That was tricky. Again, those are pretty tricky. Oh, did he give me 1 coin? That was the reward, was 1 coin? Or something else going to come out? I don't know. I think that's it. Or did I get a bunch of coins? 65. And 10 keys. That's pretty good. Hey, let's check the chat. Oh.
How is it that I've been so defeated?
Okay. Yeah, next time I do this, I don't think I'm gonna turn on the I wanted to see is like how much am I gonna use the soundboard when I'm not streaming, and it turns out it's like basically never. Especially this game is not really soundboard conducive. Because this is a roguelike, which means if you lose attention too much, you get killed and then have to start all over, as opposed to Into the Radius, where I could just save scum and load up a save if I die. Here though. Good
and bad. That's what you sign up for.
Wow, insightful.
But there's also just real
insight,
life
Nick.
that
Nick
happens to coincide with internet shit. And people they'll make their determinations. There's no way you can fix them or whatever. But you do run into this thing where life is real and you have to confront it. And sometimes
he's acting like a child of his died this year or something. It's bizarre.
Confronts you with a kick to the fucking testicles. And that has caused some,
everyone else is realizing though, basically the people in the SWC Clips comments are like, all these things he mentions about how like he had a real apparently some serious hardships this year. The hardships were from his own making, essentially. He fucked up, and now he's acting like it was just some random chap. Somehow somebody, it's like a bizarre accident, like a car, somebody else crashed a car, and the result was that he lost subscribers over it or something. That's basically what he's acting like.
Some inconsistency with the show as well.
Oh yeah,
that's what you get. Live streaming all the time with no like. I don't like bringing. You can the radio. Right? Like Rush or Glenn Beck, if they were going to go on vacation or if they were going to miss a show, there's a stand-in. The show has to happen and a stand-in happens. They don't care what happens to viewership. They don't care if other people like don't watch it because the show is still happening. And the audience may be down to 20% of what it normally is because they're like, oh, this isn't Rush or whatever. It doesn't matter. The consistency of the show has its own intrinsic value. I don't have that.
I'm not sure he knows what the fuck his point is supposed to be here, by the way. Because he's acting like, oh, I had this weird inconsistency with my show. And so it's resulted in some problems for the show. Basically, like he's trying to make up just a whole cloth sudden reason why he's lost audience this year. And this babbling, worthless, meaningless, irrelevant bullshit about like Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck. I will say Nick Rekieta is a very good comparison to Glenn Beck because they're both just equally as dishonest. Yeah. I changed the color of my sword. Sweet. But as far as comparing himself to Glenn Beck, as far as like just getting his audience or his shows being different somehow, just all of it is just complete fucking horseshit. Whatever his point is theoretically supposed to be, he's not even making it here. So this is just Nick saying random words that have nothing to do with each other. Just a series of random noises coming out of his jizz gargler that don't have any bearing on himself or what he has already said in the previous few seconds or words or anything. Oh, sweet. Oh, shit. That did kill me. Whatever. 6 inside. Shit, that's nothing. That's nothing.
How is it that I've been so defeated?
Was this story based?
No.
No, it wasn't. No. Here.
I could probably find someone to do it, but I'm a non-trusting cunt.
Yeah, he's acting like I'm not trustworthy. Or he's acting like he can't trust people enough to take over his show for a day or something. Because now he's under. That's the thing. As soon as he's under contract with Rumble, all of a sudden he realizes he can't take a day off. He's under contract, which is kind of stupid of him. He should have never been under contract. He didn't need a contract. The thing about doing a contract is that he went under a contract because Rumble gave him a huge offer. And they probably told him, like, we will never censor you. We'll never, suspend your account or anything. We'll never demonetize you without warning. And so Rekieta was like, yeah, okay. And most likely, the contract is for less money than he was getting normally on YouTube. But the deal was he would have the contract on Rumble and he would still be making the money on YouTube. It's like, well, shit, I'm just going to get richer then. Not realizing that if something happened to his YouTube channel, or especially if something happened even to his Rumble audience, his YouTube and Rumble audience, and also, for example, getting suspended on YouTube, which also happened. But he was like, well, I have Rumble anyways, I don't care. But the thing is, now his audience is just dumping him. And he's realizing that he needed more than this deal. So, he's probably sweating about that. He's probably sweating about other stuff. And there's probably a bunch of other stuff he should be sweating about that he's not. And he's mistaken in not being more concerned, I think. Now, that part's just my opinion. But it's very likely that there's more that can go wrong than him, because his audience very likely is not going to come back. But even if they did, that would just make him a bigger target for the people who left him. The people who left his audience, his former fans, are going to have that much more justification being like, and this is how it should have been in the first place. But now it's going to happen, and he will not ever be able to recover from that. And he basically deserves it. Because, again, a person who pretends to be for freedom of speech while actively being demonstrably against it should not be given any respect ever. And the fact that people did, Rekieta's fans should feel bad about that. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Whoa. Can I bounce those back? I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I don't know yet. Anyways, here. A food item. Okay, well, those things shoot arrows, I know. Anyways, here, let me just play this again.
So I don't ever do that. So if I cancel a show, it's going to just be canceled.
Oh, yeah, see.
And sometimes you cancel a show because real shit is real, and you have to deal with it. And that's happened a lot this year.
Nice.
This year has not been universally positive, but in a weird way.
Yeah. He's lost audience, and he's going to try and spin it as a positive thing. But again, it's the that was the thing, is that he was like, well, if I lose my YouTube channel, If I get banned or permanently suspended or permanently demonetized, I have this Rumble contract. What he never calculated for is that his Rumble audience would leave him. And again, he very much deserves that. Should be firing. Whatever. You know, if it doesn't, that's fine with me.
Right? In a weird way. Even though this year has had a lot of pitfalls.
Weird.
It's been one of the craziest but best years of my life. And it's been one of the worst. How do you reconcile that? I don't know. I don't understand it. I have gone through literal months of borderline. I'm really...
Again, how specifically is this one of the worst years of his life? I would like to know specifically, because if he just means his audience dropping off, that is so minor. That means that he's so beholden to his audience that his audience is everything. To the point where losing audience, losing subscribers is the worst thing to ever happen to him in his entire life. That is how soft of a life Rekieta has always had. That's what he is saying. That's not what I think. That's what he is admitting to. Unless one of his children died or something, which would be horrible, but it would also be, I was wondering, I destroyed that altar and now it says -20 luck. So yeah, that's not good, but I've always been a hard luck kind of, delver. Although I probably should never actually do that again. I should never destroy those things, especially because I need luck for crits.
Really narcissistic,
among other things.
Not really. I like to say that, but no,
he is.
To be honest,
he's narcissistic.
I don't
yes.
think I'm actually narcissistic. I have tried to be.
Would you know, Nick? If you were, would you even know?
I have a lot of narcissistic tendencies, but maybe.
Nick wants to think that he's honest enough to know that if he was narcissistic, he would be aware of it, when in reality, he's not. What the fuck? I could also kill this guy, but then it disappears all of this shit and turns it into a boss fight. Here, I could use this. There's supposed to be a secondary effect too, right? Let's charge. Well, whatever. Here's a wisp. You know, one thing I didn't know until recently either, if I break any of these things, they could have coins theoretically in them, but if I break them, my discount will drop. It will become, everything in the shops will become more expensive. I don't want that. I don't want that. I could sell a key, but I only got one key. Here, though.
I'm sure someone would diagnose me there, but I don't know that it'd be 100% right.
Would they?
But I will admit tons of narcissistic tendencies. But I think the more accurate depiction is, I have such a fucking high level of contentment and joy,
damage,
and such a lack of need. Like I have a lot of wants, I have a lot of desires, and I have a lot of things that I like to do that can generate fun.
Wow,
joy isn't fun.
Oh, see,
I have such a high level of joy
so much fun
in my life and contentment that I have trouble.
This is the one. This is the one where he starts Christianity signaling again to try to get the Christians back into his audience as much as he can, anyways.
Remaining mad. And so, how to translate this into what I mean
right now.
is simple.
He's mad right now.
I don't need to be much more than what I am. I've achieved mind-blowing success for whatever I thought it was going to be ever. Beyond any dream or fantasy I've ever had.
That's true.
I've done all that.
Here's the thing. He has never deserved any of it. And that's why his fans are especially so jilted and put off, is because they're realizing they gave him all of this success that he never deserved. And he still has enough of it to keep going. And he was rich in the first place. That was the thing. People act like they made Rekieta rich. He was rich at first. They just gave him even more money for pandering to them. That was it. That was the only thing Rekieta ever did, was tell them what they already wanted to know. What they already thought. Basically, Rekieta told them what they already wanted to hear. He told them that what they already believed was the truth, as opposed to telling them the actual truth.
And I'm also married to a beautiful woman for 19 years who I love
Slatternly woman.
tremendously. And I have 5 children who consistently blow me away. Like they are the most amazing humans I've ever met.
Ricada constantly amazes me, but not in a good way.
All of them in their own ways. And I'm like, how did these things come from this? Like, that doesn't make any sense, because they're so much funnier, more interesting, smarter, better people than I am.
Yeah, that's a low
And
bar.
so I look at that. I have all my basic needs met. My family's basic needs are met. It's hard to be
You're a
mad at
basic
life
needs
for
kinda
too
guy.
long. Now, it's not hard to be
Spending
mad at life. Nothing
$3,000 on
solves
snacks.
other problems and other issues, and things can always come up. But it's hard to not have joy and contentment. I don't want much more. I don't want to be a Hollywood actor. I don't want to be a musician or a rock singer or something like that. I don't know where you go from here. Like, I don't care if I ever grow like super
care.
far beyond what I've achieved. I'm happy to be me, whatever that is. Grow, remain static, lose a little, grow. But like, this fluctuation on social media is fine. And if this all goes away tomorrow, I guess I go and reopen the law office and get back to the grind. Like, you can do that. I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't really care.
You don't care.
I love my job, and I'd like to do this forever. I think I've created a system where even if I colossally fuck up, I can probably skirt by.
It never happened.
Say skirt by.
It
do
don't matter. None of this matters.
Who knows, though?
That's when he
The
says
future
don't
is
care.
unpredictable, and my life has always
don't
been
matter.
unpredictable. in that
None
way.
of this matters.
But because of that, I've learned to embrace the Christian concept of joy and contentment.
Oh, he's Christian.
And that's true. It's a truly Christian a truly Christian concept that your faith
Content.
in God or Christ or whatever it is,
Whatever.
sustains that your,
Whatever.
I guess your acquisition of grace gives you leeway to fail, and
Does it?
the realization that wherever you are materially in the world is a temporary position, whether it's up or down. I've been through all of them.
Ooh.
I've been through poverty. I've
No,
been through
no,
excess.
Nope. Been through poverty.
No.
Was this story based?
No.
You fucking mark!
Okay, you hear little girl, Frankie?
And I'm comfortable
little girl,
in
Ace?
all
Is that
of
a little
them
fucking
with what
girl?
I have. And what I have is family. Now, obviously, things can happen to your family. You hate to consider the worst, right? Like some
Because
sort
of people
unexpected
like
death,
you.
something like that. Those are always a possibility. You can never ignore them. But outside of those sort of wild cards, I have joy and contentment. And so, despite the fact, this is all going back
No.
to, I was going to say that this year has brought me to points of considering, self-deletion, but it actually hasn't. I may have been closer to the concept than ever at certain points.
That's a bizarre statement. He basically says that he may have almost committed suicide this year. Again, why? Why? Why?
Where things would just pile up and seem like they weren't going to go away. But I can't fathom doing that to my children. I cannot do it. I would stick around through the worst. I like myself a little too much. That's why I joke towards narcissism, but it really isn't that. I go, well, I have grace.
No.
So if I fuck up, I can fall back on grace. And I have contentment knowing that I have created these things, half created. Lady Racket's the other half, obviously, or probably like 3/4 or whatever, women.
A clothed
I've created
female.
these things. And even if I were to somehow fuck all of that
How
up,
titillating.
I have made something better than myself. And I haven't come anywhere near fucking all that up. So how could I not, after an initial reaction of some sort of emotion, troll back towards joy and contentment? And that's what ends up happening. So even though I've been
No.
through some really fucking dark times this year, unexpectedly, and out of nowhere, related to shit that you never expected.
Okay, you hear little girl,
I said
Frankie?
unexpectedly, but also
Your little
related
girl,
to
Ace? Is that a
circumstances you
little
can't
fucking girl?
have foreseen. That's more appropriate, I guess. You still go back to joy because that shit's always temporary. It always is. And I want to put that out there. Like, guys, that is always fucking temporary. And that's why I think self-deletion, you can make jokes about it or whatever, but the reality of it is whatever you're facing, it is not worth that. Your life has merit. It has value.
Me?
And
Even me?
you have to find those things in your life
Because he just said for me to kill myself a couple weeks ago.
that bring you
Because I
to
made fun.
serenity and to joy and to peace. And you have to start devaluing the things that bring you to the dark places. So for me, in summary, 2023 has been this year that has been simultaneously the highest I can imagine and also the lowest at points. And yet that bipolar nature just puts me at this place of realizing that the contentment that I've had for well over a decade now, I don't have this right away in my life, but well over a decade now has been sustained. And I can't turn back from that. I can't eschew my blessings, and I can't look back on life and think that I've gone.
He has a trust fund. When he talks about being contented for the past 10 years, he has a trust fund.
Come to a bad place based on my decisions, which means if you're where you are and you're where you are or where you're going to end up are good, then ultimately your failures are not failures so much as speed bumps. They're roadblocks that you've had to navigate around. They're detours in your life, and you will have those. But if you look at them as absolute negatives rather than just delayed positives, reframe your thoughts, because there's time. There's tons of time. And I always want to be encouraging to
He's definitely talking about his audience dropping off here too.
people, because I do get those messages where, hey man, I'm thank you for your show, but I gotta go. I gotta go from this world. There's nothing left for me. And you're like, no, there is. Please. Don't do it. So it's like,
I don't want to comment too much on that, but it sounds like Ricada has some unhealthy fans. I imagine everyone does, though, at some point. But that's actually really shitty of a fan to be like, "Hey, I'm going to commit suicide." It's like, why are you telling you? You shouldn't tell people that unless you're again looking to be talked out of it or something. Which that's a burden to put on somebody. Which I understand if somebody's suicidal. They don't want to be a burden, but they also don't want to really do it. They want to look for a reason to live, but putting that burden on people, there are a lot of people out there who will do that, sometimes without even really being suicidal, and they shouldn't be. I don't think anyone should ever kill themselves. I don't, like even the people who are like, oh, that person should kill themselves. I've never told anyone that they should do it. I don't even think Ricada should do it. Thing is that Ricada might end up doing it on accident. Likely, if that happens, it'll be on accident. It's also possible with his wife, because there are, of course, those stories that have been going around of Ricada's wife threatening to jump out the window of the Tampa hotel room at the Tampa road rage that they went to. So again, a lot of bad circumstances with that.
it's wild. 2023 has been that year for me.
But is it weird?
I hope 2024 has less of the lows, more of the highs. But I just
Less of
this
the
all
lows,
came from
again.
the idea of
What are your lows? You're still rich, and you made 2023 was basically the year he made the Rumble deal. And he's describing this as being one of the worst years of his fucking life.
Inconsistency of the
Just
show. I hate it.
completely shallow
I hate
person.
December in that way, but it's really turning
December.
out to be a great cap off to the year.
Again, he blames December somehow.
So I'm looking for something to fuck myself up before the 31st, right? Like something's got to go wrong. We'll figure it out. But yeah, man, life is what it is. Enjoy it. Because if you don't, you're going to be here for a while. It's going to suck the whole time.
Yeah,
if you're not enjoying
really
it.
insightful there.
So hopefully I can be encouraging. to some people
Shut
on
up.
that because I can legitimately tell you that I've
Shut up,
gone through
queer.
some really dark shit this year, and at the end of the
You
day,
hear little girl,
you know,
Frankie? Hear little girl Ace? Is that
you
little
either have
fucking
the
girl?
benefit that you've created in your life, or
By
you
the
have
way,
the
you know what?
potential to create.
Actually, again, I forgot because it's been so many years and so many details and so on and so forth. Oh, sweet. Let's see if I can do that again. But that clip, on the soundboard, the reason why it's called that. Oh shit! Backed into a corner. Hold on, let me get this. But on the soundboard, you notice. In fact, if I look closer at it, you can really see. There, okay. I'm safe for a second. But on the soundboard, it's called That Umbrella Guy.
Okay, you hear little girl, Frankie? Hear little girl Ace? Is that a little fucking girl?
And it's called That Umbrella Guy because That Umbrella Guy did some clip. That's basically where the faking death threats against his family came from. In fact, that was the death threat that he had faked. He had started telling people that we had threatened to kill his family, and that the evidence of us threatening to kill his family and his children was... Oh, shit. Whoa. I didn't notice this guy. But it was that clip, because he had done some whiny comment, whining for sympathy and attention, which he had constantly done even before then. This was after the mailbox thing, where basically he had taken a picture of a... He had taken a picture of a mailbox, supposedly. Well, he had posted a picture of a mailbox that was lying on his side, and he was claiming that the SJWs had smashed his mailbox. And again, there was zero evidence. There wasn't even evidence that it was smashed. He didn't post a picture of a mailbox with a dent on it. He just posted a picture of a mailbox that was laying on its side. And in fact, looked like it had been very cheaply connected at the bottom of the base with like old nails and duct tape. There was duct tape around the base of the mailbox with it, because it was like mailbox on a post by a roadside. That was the mailbox that he posted. You know, there was duct tape around it, and he fucking like didn't go into any more detail. He didn't go into any extra information. Wait. 2 hearts. That sounds pretty good, actually. Shit. I mean, I can live without some extra coins, can't I? I have 1 now. Darn it. Anyways. But yeah, that was the thing, is that he had, you know, done all this clearly for sympathy. He would keep, even with that, the mailbox thing, where he was blaming people, and there was no evidence of any of the people he had blamed. He constantly bringing up his children when they had nothing. He was like, they're attacking my home, my children. They want to attack my children and all that shit. And again, so we did a video where we just pointed out about the stuff and made fun of him. And he, like, did a video where he was like, they slandered my daughter. They fucking insulted her, and all this shit. And it was like, all we did a video where we made fun of him basically hiding behind his daughter. We said, some of the things we did to make fun of the whole situation in him and so on was we said, you know, he's constantly hiding behind his dumb gay daughter who is a gay incel and that kind of stuff. And so instead of him saying like, they called my daughter a gay incel, and, you know, admitting that essentially it was clearly a joke, which a lot of people did still acknowledge. And in fact, that kind of got Kiwi Farms started making fun of him. And it's where they very soon around that time, they made an official thread about him. Oh, nice. So yeah, they made an official Kiwi Farms thread, like, you know, just to document him, make fun of him, all that kind of stuff. But we responded to his response video with I posted just a clip from Casino.
Okay, you hear little girl, Frankie? Hear little girl, Ace? Is that a little fucking girl?
Specifically making fun of that umbrella guy being a little fucking girl, which he is. It didn't even have any other context. We didn't even say this is. I just posted the clip from Casino and saying this is our official response to that umbrella guy, and so we posted that, and he went around telling everyone on the internet, his entire audience, all of Comicsgate, and getting other people in Comicsgate, including Nick Rekieta and many other people, to start pushing this hoax that we had sent his children death threats. And again, the death threat he's referring to is the clip of this.
Okay, you hear little girl, Frankie? Hear little girl, Ace? Is that a little fucking girl?
Just that, nothing more than that. And the thing is that a lot of the other people who had been pushing that, eventually the information came out, like people were like, yeah, what's the thing? Where are the death threats? And they started clipping our video or showing because again, our video was just public. It was like a 15-minute video of us just making fun of that umbrella guy, constantly hiding behind his children and his family and using them as a troll shield and so on. And when that came out, when people started actually looking at our video, the other people's claims of death threats suddenly disappeared. Literature Devil deleted his video in which he had told people that we had made death threats against Tug's kids. But he has never apologized, by the way. He never walked that back. He just silently deleted it. And if you ask him about it, he doesn't even admit that he ever said it. And he doesn't admit that he was wrong or that specifically that he was lying. Pretty much the exact same thing happened with just some guy. And I think people in Comicsgate sort of realized that because of that umbrella guy lying about us making death threats, they had opened themselves up to a potential lawsuit, which we would have won if we actually made it. The thing is that we wouldn't sue anyone for that. But the thing is that we would have, the same way that Monograph could likely win the lawsuit against Rekieta and be justified. In fact, if anything, the stuff that Rekieta supported it every step of the way, too. He supported that umbrella guy making up fake death threats, lying about it, and that kind of stuff. Because, again, the direct response when that umbrella guy started faking the death threats, Rekieta's response, was to have that umbrella guy on. Not us, though. Very interesting. He refused to have us on to even be able to respond to that. Not an invitation, not even a mention of having our side. He just had that umbrella guy on, and that was it. And again, the umbrella guy was lying the entire time, and Rekieta's response to that was to push the lie that the umbrella guy was pushing. And in fact, Rekieta still does that. To this day, he not only didn't walk that back, but he continues to double down on this stuff that umbrella guy made up. And the thing is that, in a way, they are definitely benefited from us, not suing them for slander or whatever. Specifically, for defamation, because considering that what Rekieta said about Monograph was defamation per se. But it's the same for us, is that what Tug and Rekieta say about us is also defamation per se. And Rekieta never had to be cornered about that. Nobody's ever confronted Rekieta about that to the point where he would try to pretend that it was free speech, or that he was just joking, or that he was being funny, or that he's being a comedian. Not a single person, aside from us, has confronted him about the fact that he lied about that. Now, the thing is that I would, again, not even want to sue him over that. Because suing for defamation is pretty much a dead end. Like, it was even kind of, the only reason why it wasn't a dead end for Johnny Depp was because a lot of people made their careers. They essentially launched careers off of pretending to support him. Even though, like, again, Tug did that and Rekieta did that, and it's very worth pointing out that they supported, Tug and Rekieta supported Johnny Depp over Johnny Depp being accused of the exact same things that we were accused of, basically. That, you know, that he was abusive and that he's a bad person and so on. Shit. I don't think I'm going to make it through the fucking library here. But anyways. Oh. I can bounce this back, can't I? Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting. That thing. So yeah, I just bring that up because, you know, Rekieta, there's tons more evidence of Rekieta being a pathological liar and anti-freedom of speech. And we're the proof of it. And still, nobody talks about it, even though there's no reason for them not to. Well, let's see. Okay, this is kind of a challenge room. These are usually easy, but here. Let me just play this.
Create benefit beyond your lows. And you do. But you have to stop listening to other people's values of you. You have to embrace your own value. And it could be on a very long timeline. Guys, I wasn't particularly successful in my life until I was about 35, 36.
He had a trust fund, so he had guaranteed money that entire time.
Doing the grind that everybody else does isn't ever what I wanted to do. But I was resigned to...
Notice, he almost said, like, he was not successful doing the grind that everyone else does. He says that it's something he didn't want to ever do. That means he didn't want to work a normal job. He didn't really want to be a lawyer and get other law firms recommending cases to him that would be like from drug addicts. That was that one thing that he complained about. Is like they said that they would recommend me, you know, some cokehead. And they're like, those are the kinds of clients we don't want to deal with. So we would refer that client to you. And he was like, can you believe that this fucking, it wasn't Randazzo, it was whoever, or Schneider, I think, was the lawyer he was basically trying to denigrate, to be a detractor of. Which, by the way, that's a whole other topic on its own that's worth talking about. That points, that proves, permanently proves Rekieta's hypocrisy, is that the word detractor, they keep throwing that around, and all of them are detractors. All of them are bigger detractors than anyone they have ever said was a detractor. Like they act like a detractor is always a bad thing when they essentially make their career off of being detractors. The Umbrella Guy is a detractor of Amber Heard. Nick Rekieta is a detractor of the people that fucking Rittenhouse shot. Also Amber Heard, and also Monograph, and whoever the fuck else. Whoever the fuck else he wants to pretend is somehow, you know, bad. But he's constantly, no one is a bigger detractor than him, but they always throw out this word detractor as if a detractor is the worst thing you can be, or somehow a weirdo is like, to Nick Rekieta, a weirdo is worse than an actual child abuser. And that's proven by the fact that Nick Rekieta has been friends with actual child abusers, because again, that Umbrella Guy is a child abuser. No matter which way you slice it, you're just dishonest if you think that that Umbrella Guy is not a child abuser. And the proof, by the way, of that is that Umbrella Guy's videos, where he, again, his fucking hiding behind his children to hide from criticism, hiding behind, or making up fake death threats for sympathy. Shit. Well, hold on a second. That's going to be tricky. There we go. Oh, nice. The explosion's actually splash damaging all of the guys, so all I have to do is hit one of them. That's pretty cool. These things, though. Oh, nice. Nice. Here, again. I
do it 'cause I had a
just play
feeling.
through this.
And maybe that's what you're doing for now. Maybe that's what you're doing forever. But go fucking get your value out of life somewhere. It may not be economic, it may not be monetary, but it may simply be
Does that
you bring
include me,
value
Nick?
into
Does
the
that include
life
Monograph?
of a woman or a man, depending on your preferences and gender and all that shit.
Does that include faking death threats against your children just for internet attention? And more importantly, for super chat money and monetization over YouTube. All these people complain about the woke mob, but when it comes to taking paychecks from YouTube and using that YouTube money, because don't forget, every dollar that they make on YouTube, every dollar that Ricada and anyone friends with Ricada makes on YouTube, 35 cents of that dollar goes to the woke mob at YouTube. Why are these people really, if they're really against the woke mob, why are they making money for the woke mob? That sucks. Huh. That sounds neat. Sounds neat. I wish it was the other way around. Okay.
And the lives of children around you. And not in the Jared Fogle way, but in the way of a parent.
Is it
and
not?
If you're
in
able to instill...
It's not in the Jared Fogle way, because again, you have a pretty suspicious history with people with your... just ignore all of those people. Ignore all of Ricada's friends. What about Ricada's family himself? He's a complete alcoholic. He's neglecting his children to do these streams every day, and then he is he's fucking not raising his kids when he's going on these videos, embarrassing himself in public. He's a father, and he's doing all this fucking YouTube clout chasing shit, where he's dressing up gay and putting a microphone in his mouth like it's a dick and going ooh woo and stuff, and dressing up in hot pants like some kind of, well, not some kind of homo, but like an actual real confirmed homo, if you will. But yeah, like, again, what kind of children are you going to raise when you're doing that? What kind of father are you to your children? So again, when it comes to Ricada talking about how to raise kids, he's the person that you should listen to the least. And in anyone who thinks he's someone you should listen to, you should fucking not listen to them either. Anyways.
That value in them, your value, your worth is multiplied far beyond any economic impact that you may have. So there's my gay fucking shit for the year. Now I'll go suck a bunch of dicks just to make up for that. Sorry. But,
there's no making up for being dishonest.
I'm going to talk about real shit for just a minute.
Real shit.
I'm not
It's
just
the opposite
like the rest
shit.
of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
We're doing the Matthew Perry. I need 8 opioids, a bunch of benzos, some alcohol, some nicotine, and I need some congestive heart failure.
This was all within the same day of him being positive. This may have been before it. It's actually worse if it's after it, though. Because, again, it's Nick sounding worse, a lot worse than usual. It's one of those hot tub streams, so he's just streaming while shirtless, sitting in the hot tub, acting like he's like just a primo comedian.
Your stat and the ketamine, it's the worst one. Yes, give me all of it. I need all of the drugs that Matthew Perry was on right now. Sometimes you wait. No, that was Cheers.
That was also
no one told me.
This is also very pertinent because it was also after that stream I did where I played the Cheers theme song. Suddenly, somehow, it's just in Nick's mind. Plate of shrimp moment, perhaps? The shitty webcomic psychic zeitgeist in action? Or is he just watching our streams? Could be any of them.
Death was gonna be this way.
Again, comedian Nick Ricada, though.
What is it? Ketamine hits now. You're gonna fade away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. As you slip
That's just the
under the
actual
water,
lyrics.
you go, oh, I'm dying a queer and...
That would be
Shit.
ironic if this
That's probably
backfired
too far
on
on
Nick,
that
isn't
jump.
it?
Sorry.
Wouldn't it?
What a fucking retard. You know what I'm going to do?
He was the retard.
I'm going to get in a hot tub.
Matthew Perry, that's the guy who has the problem.
And before I do, though, let me just take all the shit that can kill you individually and also make you not care about dying. I'm going to take all of that and then get in the water. Woo! I'll be there for you when my K-hole is falling. I'll be there for you when the benzos are calling. I'll be there for you. Jordan Peterson can't stop me from dying.
Just keep doubling
What a
down
fucking
on it.
weirdo.
Weirdo,
So
guys. He was the weirdo.
The worst thing I've
And
ever
also,
done in the hot tub.
Jordan Peterson reference.
Solo. Right, solo. Is, well, like right now. I've had a couple drinks. I'm in a good mood. I wouldn't drive a car.
He's in a good
but
mood,
I'm
guys.
fine.
He's he's
Not gonna
happy.
throw up or whatever.
No one's having more fun than Nick.
This is probably, you shouldn't be in a hot tub intoxicated, but I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not going to pass out. I'm all
See, he's
fine.
not.
It's great.
Yeah, Nick's sober.
But you don't want to get in a
all that you heard, Nick's sober. Why would you think
This
he's drunk?
Negro is like, you know what? I'm liquored up. What else should I do? All of the drugs and then get in the hot tub. What are you doing?
All of the drugs.
What are you doing? Why would you?
Relaxing in a hot tub while on drugs. That's what he's doing.
Why would you do more? Here's what I have for me in the hot. Here's my illegal drugs for the hot tub, guys. Pay attention, Terry Dean members. Here's the illegal drugs. I have Propel watermelon, because I had a bunch of Bowman brothers or whatever, from Virginia on stream with Ty. It was good. It's good whiskey. I've had way more.
Why would you brag about? See, this is the funny thing is that he is still hanging out with Ty, apparently because he has to. Not very surprisingly, Ty apparently manages his trust fund, so he has to be friends with Ty. There's not a point where it's like, Ty, you really fucked that up. I don't really want to hang out with you anymore. No, of course. Why would Rekieta ever think that? Why would Rekieta ever hold the guy responsible for completely blowing the Vic case? Why would he just hold him responsible for that when he could instead brag about drinking whiskey with him? Really good whiskey, you guys. You probably can't drink it, you fucking plebs who donate to his shows. You don't get that stuff. He was rich enough to afford it before being a YouTuber. Now as a YouTuber, he's even more rich to be able to afford it, and people just buy it for him anyways as a gift. And I have to say, if something happens to him, it's not on Nick, it's on his fans. And as much as Nick would deserve it, which he does, on an objectively, ontologically moral level, it's his fans. His fans should basically be held responsible because Nick didn't gift himself whiskey, even if he did, who else was giving it to him? The fans, were more than happy to turn it into like a character trait of his. Oh boy. I'm doing like not jack shit for damage. That's one thing, like Binding of Isaac, is that if you're not doing beast meat damage near the end, you're just gonna get fucking ground down. I have half a heart, so yeah, I'm gonna die around it. I have finished this game a few times. In fact, I finished the plus games where they get more and more difficult. I had a really good run where I was basically invincible and doing huge damage, and then after you plus game this like 3 times in a row, though, it turns into like one hit and you're dead, which means you either have to be almost completely invincible, which was just about possible. Like I had a really high evasion stat, and I was just like, well, I want to cash in these because it doesn't seem to be giving me these achievements until I actually die. So I kind of just started running into danger, and then I died in one hit. I was like, oh shit, because I had tons of health. I had like 8 heart containers, but it basically erased all of them on the New Game Plus Plus, or New Game Plus Plus Plus, I forget. But yeah, that was a good run. I unlocked lots of achievements, which unlock, like Binding of Isaac, they unlock extra items too. What the hell is this guy doing? I got 4 damage. When I had the growing sword, it was like doing 12 damage as soon as it would hit. It's poisoning these guys though, which is good. Now, did I don't think you take fall damage in this, so I don't know what the hell killed me. Anyways, here, I'm hoping that this is about done.
More whiskey than this on an average night. Average night? Oh shit. On other nights.
Average night. What?
But I had a bunch of whiskey.
Again, he's like that sounds like a Freudian slip there.
Because if you get in this environment of a hot tub, though you're in water, if you're in water, water is being sucked out of your body, just like when you're on the liquor. So that happens. And then the other thing is it's hot, it's cozy, and you kind of just sort of like right now I could go to sleep, but I have narcolepsy, so that's not a surprise. But I know me. I'm not going to sit here in this hot tub alone and drink. Some people do that. Matthew Perry probably. 2021 colorized. But I'm not going to sit in this hot tub and drink. I had my drinks downstairs. You can walk upstairs. You can hang out. You can talk to people. Only a little slurry. I'll get more sober as the night goes on. Perfect. Great. We're not going to be here very long. It's 9.
I don't know what's more offensive, is Nick thinking he's funny, being like, Matthew Perry died, haha. Like, just straight up gloating about the fact that Matthew Perry died. It's like, what specifically do you have personally against him? Did he try to deplatform you? And if so, you know what? I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that he did. Sounds like he's, again, just trying to... It's Ricada trying to pretend like he's he's a comedian. Oh, that would be good. But, you know, that's also good. Whoa. But yeah, I don't know what is more, what is worse is him, you know, trying to be, act like he's funny, or him trying to be insightful afterwards and be like, guys, let me tell you. Just like fucking... Shut up. The guy who knows the least trying to inform you about what he thinks you should know that you don't. You see, you don't know, guys. Ricada knows. So he's going to lay down the law. Hold on. Ricada's got some he's got some insight. He's got nuggets of wisdom ready to go. Nice. Although that was point blank. At this distance, how can you miss? Oh yeah, that was one other thing, by the way, about stupid, that umbrella guy, saying that this was a death threat.
Okay, you hear little girl, Frankie? Hear little girl, Ace? Is that a little fucking girl?
One of the other things that Tug said was he was like, they used this clip from Goodfellas. It's like, it's from Casino. There's no scene like this in Goodfellas. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? First of all, getting that wrong. Are you even a human being? I don't think so. One thing I also thought was very telling was that some of the guys, or like I think because I just saw the screenshot of the now deleted video. It was like a screenshot of, it didn't even have the thumbnail because the video has just been gone for so long. But the one Literature Devil made, and he titled it like fucking deranged NPCs threaten to kill the umbrella guy's family. And again, when you're doing videos like that, where you're making those claims, first thing you need to do is present the evidence right away, especially if the evidence is supposed to be true. If the evidence isn't true, like if you haven't even seen it, and the evidence especially is fake, you deserve to basically have everything taken away from you. The same way that Ricada does, for the exact same reasons, by the way. If you're intentionally, if your intent is to slander people with the intent of having them deplatformed, which is exactly what happened. That's what Ricada was doing. Oh shit, that's the foam bat, isn't it? Yeah. Dragon Lung, and this is the foam bat. Initially decreases damage, and then with, I think basically it will give me another 10 plus though after with every enemy I kill, which is very, very nice, especially early on in the game. Although killing crates here doesn't count. But anyways, yeah, if you're what Medica referred to as life ruination, because that was the thing, is that we had been growing an audience from pointing out the truth and actually showing it. The evidence was always on our side, and we had become privy to a lot of information about the dishonesty of Comicsgate. And because of that, they wanted to. That's really the real reason why Tug wanted to get us banned and started creating these fake death threat claims and shit. Is that essentially Comicsgate wanted us deplatformed for criticizing them, and not just for criticizing them because the SJWs had criticized them. The thing is that everyone knew that the SJWs, all the stuff they said basically didn't hold any water. Of course, it was just the usual, like, they're racist, they're sexist, the same things that they had said about us. The SJWs, the Sujubs, whatever you want to call them. The Sujus, if you will. That's what we called them before Comicsgate ever existed. But the nice. Yeah, that's what they said about us. They're like, they're racist, they're sexist, all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, who gives a shit? But Comicsgate, when people were like, okay, yeah, it's the same old shit that the SJWs, the Sujus, say about everyone. And very interesting, by the way, is that that's also the same stuff that Comicsgate would start saying about us. There are many people in Comicsgate, including Tug, by the way, who were like, they're racist. These shitty webcomics guys are racist, sexist. They go around spewing racial slurs on their streams, which we didn't, but they wanted to use that against us. And I think it was because they wanted to act like we were leftists. They wanted to present this this sort of this hoax that we were essentially leftist SJWs. We had seen that also from people in Comicsgate who are like, you guys are SJWs. And it's like, where are we SJWs? Go ahead and prove it. We had dared people in Comicsgate to prove it. We dared Ricada to prove it. Like when Ricada said that we were Kick Vic. Oh shit, nice. When anyone in Comicsgate said we were SJWs, we dared them to prove it. The same for Rippaverse people. Rippaverse false flagged my brother's Twitter account just over jokes and memes. Just straight up. My brother didn't even say anything to Rippaverse people. He just posted a couple memes. And they were like, this guy's a racist and he's a leftist. And other people were like, I don't think this guy's a leftist. He follows this and this and says this. And clearly the memes are not something a leftist would post. And like, yeah, just again, they fucking had a meltdown. Rippa fans were completely baffled and unable, essentially proving that they were unable to identify leftists. Which, that certainly that's not a good look. As the kids say, it's not a good look. Whoa. There, fuck. I wish I could go back, but this doesn't open. Anyways, but yeah, there was, something else I was going to be pointing out, but, that they were saying that we're leftist, saying that we're SJWs, but then also saying that we're racist, which means they were making, people in Comicsgate were making the same arguments that the SJWs did, with the exact same way. And the reason why they did that, the reason why especially that they really lost their shit, why guys like Tug didn't want to just monetize the haters, but he wanted to ban us. He wanted to get us banned and then brag about how he not only got us banned, but that he would make money off of getting us banned. He publicly bragged about that very regularly. And again, where are the people in Comicsgate to say, hey, you know, this isn't actually a good... This is what Comicsgate should be against. Why are we doing something? Why are we doing the things that we're supposed to be against? Not a single person in Comicsgate said that. Not a single adjacent or whatever, like Ricada never said that. In fact, again, it's important to point out every single time that Ricada's response to that was to support and promote that Umbrella guy, not just as he was lying and making up the fake death threats, but as they were proving that they were essentially the leftists that they were pretending to be against. I just realized this will just heat-seeking. I don't even have to aim it anymore. That's great. Unless I'm throwing it at a brick or a crate or a block. Anyways, so yeah, that was the thing, is that they hated us even more. Not just because they ate us, although there is something to that. Because we were showing that our principles were consistent. Our principles were morally consistent. We never fucking accused other people. We never said, like, oh, those people, they're racists. We never even pulled the whole, the Democrats are the real racists. Oh, shit. Nice. How much? 10? That sounds great. But yeah, we always hold consistent to the morals we always had since before Comicsgate ever existed. Okay. Do I have an apple? No. Whoa, wait. But that was specifically why. Like, Liam Gray was another example of somebody who was didn't just hate us, but was constantly angry about us. That Umbrella guy, many other people in Comicsgate whose names I don't even remember anymore. Like that, there was that one other guy, Micah Curtis. I was going to say, again, every time I think of him, I think Micah Bell, but that's a character from Red Dead Redemption 2, who is very similar in personality, by the way. And if you want to see that in action, go ahead and check out his, or just search for Micah Bell on YouTube. But also, wait a second. Breakable objects no longer drop items. Shit. But you know, I don't think I've ever gotten that before, so I want to get it at least once, because then it gets added to the whatever. Oh, apples are good too. But yeah, that was the thing. There was a bunch of people in Comicsgate who hated us more than they would ever hate the SJWs, the leftists, the whatever, because the leftists just had the same old bullshit arguments, but from us, Comicsgate knew that they could not counter a single thing. Oh. Well. They could not counter a single thing we had ever said, and they still can't. There is a kind of becoming an old joke now, that there is not a single argument against shitty webcomics that Comicsgate has ever won. Comicsgate has, or to phrase it more coherently, Comicsgate has lost every single argument against shitty webcomics. And if you really want to get under any of their skins, instantly, just tell them that. Just say that to them. Just go to them and go to Ethan, go to Ethan's chat, go to him on Twitter. Ethan Van Sciver will block you instantly on Twitter if you say to him, Comicsgate has lost every argument against shitty webcomics. He will probably have a meltdown before blocking you, but he will block you. He will especially block you. We've seen this before where we have just posted images of screen caps of what was it? Well, there's a lot of screen caps. 15 coins. But screen caps of Ethan's tweets, especially with the archive links, because those especially hurt. But the ones where Ethan is like, is Earthworm Jim anti-gay? Again, just using the leftist tactic. And it's not even against us. It was against Doug TenNapel. So it goes to show, it wasn't just like, we're not some, specific example. We're not a unique, rare example of Comicsgate using leftist tactics against us and using the exact same leftist talking points and arguments and showing that they are leftists. They're the SJWs. That Comicsgate is the woke mob. That's already been proven by Comicsgate's reaction and response to us many, many times. But also, it just goes to show that also for Doug TeNapel, shit. You know what? Here, this is what the stakes for. There we go. But also for like Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. We are all the living proof that Comicsgate is the woke mob. Comicsgate are the leftist SJW cancel pigs. And what the hell? Anyone who says otherwise is basically part of the cancel pigs, the woke left SJW mob themselves. And there is no argument against that. There have been years of opportunity. We've been sitting around for years letting Comicsgate even try to make an argument that they're not. And instead, Comicsgate's every action continues to prove that they are. So, and again, if you want to even see more of the evidence of that, just keep following us because there will still be more and more evidence. But go check out our older videos. We had a lot more videos on our main channel back on the previous channel, the one that got banned by Ricada. And here's the thing is that when we got banned, Ricada was like, you shouldn't flag their accounts. But that was it. That was all he said. He ultimately... There we go. That's nice. Oh, yeah. That's nice. He ultimately didn't do anything about it. He didn't say, hey, Ethan, why did you support this? In fact, he had Ethan on to help mitigate and damage control Ethan's direct involvement in having our channel false flagged. In fact, there are archived receipts proving that Ethan was directly involved. Oh, nice. Shit, that's cheap, too. The fucking discount must be 50%. That's pretty good. Nice. Evasion, that's good. Misses damage you. I don't want that. I think I do. Did I ever get this? I don't think I did, so I think I will buy it. Just once. I don't know if I ever got it before. But I think buying stuff increases your discount too. That's pretty cool. What a great game. A delightful game. Oh shit, those are arrow shooting things or something. Okay. Here again, I want to play through this.
And we're really 30 minutes is probably too long. But yeah,
I'm doing
but
good
Matthew
damage.
Perry's like, let's combine all of the drugs at once.
Oh shit, Matthew Perry, get him,
Nick.
and
then get in the hot tubs. Like, bro, what are you trying to do?
Again, while Nick's doing this, while Nick's making fun of Matthew Perry, oh shit, I didn't even notice this. While Nick's making fun of Matthew Perry, again, he continues to avoid the fact that he supported the false flagging of other actual creators. And it's important to point out that, we could just, if we were just YouTubers, that's easier to ignore. But what Comicsgate really hates is that we are also comic creators, and really always have been since before Comicsgate. What was hitting me? Is there another? Is it one of those things? No, I don't know what. Oh, that's right. I missed. That's why. Duh. Although I wasn't missing, it's missing on its own. There. You know what? That wasn't really worth getting, but at least I never have to get it again. Ugh. Anyways, here again. Like I said, let's get this over with.
It's weird because it's Matthew Perry, right?
Is it? Is that why it's weird?
Perry?
You're
Would
weird,
you ever
Nick.
have to try?
Nick, you're the weirder one here.
For every guy out there who's had troubles with women, would you ever have to try with women? Well, no. He's got unlimited money from the Friends show. I mean, at minimum tens of millions of dollars.
He could have
got
burned
movie
through all of that.
productions that he's done and can still do.
He could have been
What does
flat
he have
broke.
to do? You're like, oh, well, he has to do a bunch of ketamine and then go in the hot tub.
Yes.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Actors like doing drugs.
There's
Nick,
no desire
you
or
like
need
doing
there. Why
drugs.
would you have to do that? Well, because he's going to die.
This is part of Nick trying to pretend like he's not a drug addict.
It's weird.
Or that he doesn't do drugs
What
either.
he did was art for the Illuminati.
Ooh, sweet.
Yes. Yes. It's such
What's
a
wrong,
such a strange
Nick?
thing.
What's wrong with you?
I can't imagine overdosing in a
100%
hot
crit.
tub because who's sitting?
He says
who's
this while
sitting
in a
around
hot
doing
tub.
these things?
If he overdosed in a hot tub,
the police,
that clip.
ma'am.
This is
Your
the clip,
son's been
though.
hit by a drunk driver. He's dead.
Zachary Keith has Brooke says Juice says he will make up if you sober up, Bisque. No, I don't ever care to talk to Josh again.
Oh,
And I'm
no.
certainly not going to do some
No.
bullshit extortion
Why
based
not?
on his opinions that are literally retarded. So
Literally, guys.
sorry, Josh. I reached out to you. You won't talk to me. You're going to talk to your audience instead. Go ahead. I'll never stop you.
Oh, he talks to his audience? Oh, no.
Ah, fuck him. Let him cook.
Penis Dickerson says we love drunk and sober Nick, but we hope Nick doesn't drink too much. Guys,
Uh-oh. He's not going to like that.
this
not
is
gonna like
this
that.
is the this quintessentially internet.
Is it?
There's so
Yeah, tell us about the
many
internet, Nick.
people.
Nick, tell us about something you clearly have no idea. Nick, blindsided by the rules of the internet have changed. They haven't changed. The rules of the internet have never changed. You just never knew what they were, Nick. You pretended that you did because you were popular on the internet. That's the thing about people who are popular. They act like the only reason they can be popular is by being so knowledgeable. Nick wanted to pretend that he got all that money because he was smart. That's the real joke there. Where's the shop? Where's my purse? Oh, it's the gold thing there. Okay. Here, I want to just play. I want to play through this, so that it gets over with. Because again, there's a bunch of clips, and aside, most of what I'm saying is just me repeating myself more and more. Let's see if this. I don't know if this is even worth it. Oh well. Okay. That was kind of worth it. Neat. Do I still have discount 54? That's not bad. I could break that for a lot of money, but I don't know. That thing that there's something that increased my damage, I think it said. Whoa, look at that. But it whoa. It said that I would slip on coins or something, and I think that's that may include coins that I had picked up. So I think I was losing coins that I already had or something like that. Which is pretty fucked up. Dude, that's fucked up. Here, again, let's get through this.
Who drinks so much more than I do every night.
Other people drink more than he
I'm
does.
not saying I'm
He doesn't
fine
drink
because
much,
other
guys.
people are fine. I'm saying I'm fine because my liver numbers are fine. My function is fine.
His
Everything's
liver
fine.
numbers, guys.
Whatever changes,
Liver
will I
numbers.
quit liquor? Yeah, in a heartbeat. I don't fucking care.
Oh,
I
he
don't
can
have
quit
a
anytime.
physically addictive
Anytime he
personality.
wants, he can quit.
Do I like liquor? Of course. Of course I do.
Gee.
Who
would even ask?
Nick is in control of his drinking, guys.
I don't think anyone
Literally,
asked
yeah.
if you like it.
It's a weird thing
Even
to see and
rhetorically.
say. You cannot defend against an accusation
Although-
of addiction.
I wouldn't put it past Nick Recada's fans that they're stupid enough to ask if he likes liquor. But I have a feeling nobody asked. Shit. They're not going to damage me, I hope. Wait. Oh yeah, I got lots of fucking... Okay. Doing okay, technically. I got lots of good items. Sword damage is still 9. That's theoretically should be higher, but whatever.
You can't. Everything you say sounds like a... Well, I drank some water, so I'm okay. I'm fine. He's definitely not addicted to porn. Dude, why would you say that? I've been addicted
What?
to porn since I was probably 15.
Again, the degenerate, wholesome Christian, whatever. I don't even know how other people rationalize that. But now they rationalize... Oh, shit, wait. This sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, or teleports. That basically means it will teleport damage. This is actually useful, even though it's kind of creepy, but it's very useful. In fact, this is one of the items, super powerful items I had while I did that very successful plus game run. Because this will just shoot enemies on its own. Very sweet. That's certainly a lot cooler than anything Nick Rekieta ever has to say. But the fact that his fans currently, I have to say, Nick Rekieta's fans who are convincing themselves that Rekieta was wholesome, you are a complete fucking moron. Shit. Wait, okay. If I fucking pull this back on some in-flight before it misses, I think actually, yeah, it won't damage me. That's good. Shit. That damaged me there. But yeah, the people who were like, Rekieta is a wholesome family man, you deserve to feel stupid. I don't know if you do feel stupid, but if you don't, you should. And if you do, you deserve it. Because it was very obvious that something was wrong with Rekieta from the beginning. I can understand falling for him lying, but he did lie to you, and the fact that he lied to you multiple times to your face, not just about him being a great family man, but about him being a free speech advocate. Getting that thing where I damaged me when I missed was clearly, I think technically though, a new relic, which will give me some insight, which I can use to buy permanent upgrades, which I have most of, but still. And unlocking new relics. Wow, yay. Let's see what the chat's... Oh, that's right. Here. Let's... There's
working on not being addicted.
There's I think there's a couple clips left. One of them is like a 15-minute clip of Eric July, which I don't think is really worth listening to, but it's him essentially... well, what he does is he takes some... kind of limp-wristed, to be honest, jabs at Ethan Van Sciver and Rekieta, because he doesn't mention them by name, and there's no reason for him not to, because he's not being diplomatic, because he's fucking trashing them. So he's being kind of a pussy about it, but I do like that he trashes them. But he's also constantly self-aggrandizing as well, which is the same problem with that Rekieta and Ethan Van Sciver have. People who think that Eric July is any better than Nick Rekieta or Ethan Van Sciver are also complete morons and deluding themselves. And you will eventually learn the hard way, whether you want to or not, that Eric July is no better than any of them. In fact, it's important to point out everything that Ethan Van Sciver has done, Eric July has done. Everything. The other way around, though, is that everything that... do I need that? I don't know. Everything that Eric July has done, though, Ethan Van Sciver has done twice. Which is... That's the thing, though. That's a damning condemnation of Eric July. Anyways, I may not add more commentary to this, because I might just play through the rest of the clips. I just want to play through them, so we'll just listen to them, if I can help it.
Born, but it's an ongoing struggle. Why would you? I've never represented other. This is weird. Here's the deal with the liquor.
Again, he's
every
acting
time
like I was never like this when he was.
Affects my life. I go, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't think it affects his life
a little bit. Have I reassessed hard enough? No, it's great. But the great thing is, it's also the substance that probably won't murder you unless you drive on it. He's saying this. And I don't tend to do that.
Yeah, see?
So I have some time to fix it.
He's saying it's not going to harm him.
And meanwhile,
completely delusional.
A lot of buzz, because some people are really pissed about it, which is funny to me. But the ultimate thing is this.
See, now it's other people.
Can I get home without getting arrested? Yeah.
That's perfect alcoholic logic.
Because I don't...
Is... Other people are mad about it. They're the only people The only problem with Nick's drinking is the problem other people have. It's the other people who have the problem. They're the ones who are wrong. Rekida's drinking isn't the problem. It's other people getting mad about his drinking. And again, notice the framing of it as mad. Notice that Rekida calls them mad, calls people mad. His own fans, basically. He's calling the people who used to like him mad because he is essentially out of control. He's lost it. He's fucking... The thing is that I think it's worse than alcoholism or wet brain. He is an alcoholic. He is a wet brain now. He's drunk himself into literal mental retard. When Nick Rekida says literal retard, what he means is somebody disagreed with him. When I say literal retard, I mean actual brain damage. Rekida has drunk himself into actual brain damage in a way that he will probably never come out from, never recover from. And to be honest, I don't think he deserves to. I'm not going to be like one of those people that's like, I hope Nick can turn it around, or Nick needs to turn it around. I don't want Nick to turn it around. I DM'd Nick, and I hope I'm not jinxing it by saying this, but I DM'd Nick saying, you know, like, I agree with SWC Clips and PPP and so on, that your drinking has gotten out of control. I DM'd him that because I DM'd him that in the hopes that he will double down on his drinking and drink even more to the point where there will be no return in any way, that he will completely destroy himself. Because when he does, it will once again prove me right that, first of all, that he's going to destroy himself with alcoholism. If he comes out of it, if he has like some kind of Ethan Ralph redemption arc, I will be disappointed. I'll be more disappointed than with Ethan Ralph. Like if Ethan Ralph has like currently he's lost a lot of weight and he's performatively showing himself being happy. Ethan Ralph is a fucking clown though. And people still don't take him seriously, and they probably never will. So as far as the redemption arc for Ethan Ralph, it doesn't really mean anything. Rekida was somebody that people legitimately believed was infallible. Just straight up the concept that range damage could be good. Hold on. Sword damage 6. Let's see how nice. Let's see how much this goes up by, because it actually should go up. In fact, killing enemies with this. There, I killed one. Sword damage 3. Oh, that's right. It set it down back to 3. But okay. Again, I said I was going to just play through the clips, and I haven't been. 3 again, so it's I'm gonna need a few kills for it to go up. I think it's gonna just go up to 9 then. Whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking at that, and let's just try to see if I can play.
Like, I don't have to go anywhere to sleep or anything like that.
I'm having lots of wonderful insight.
Make it up and say, "Hey, get some fucking clothes on. Let's go." Normally, tomorrow I don't have shit.
And then driving drunk with them in the car.
So you go with that. It's fine. It's a good outfit. But everything you do doesn't have to be this major purchase, this major thing. Oh my God, is the alcoholic now? Probably.
See, this is
personally though.
That's also why I DM'd Nick and saying, you know, like, oh, the alcohol, you should really quit. I said it because I knew also that every time that anyone else said it to him, it would get that much more under his skin that other people were telling him nothing. They hate nothing more than when somebody who is supposed to be on their side says the same thing that somebody they hate says. Yeah, I was here. I just want to try and play through this.
I've dealt with some addiction. I've dealt with some shit. I've drank whiskey a long time. I could walk away from whiskey tomorrow and not care. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I have no reason to do that. But it's great. If Lady Raggeds looked at me and said, please stop drinking right now, of course I would. If you wouldn't, why are you with that person?
Here, though, I may have to actually stop, so I might have to wrap up the show soon. Food? Yeah, I'm hungry. I want to get some food, so I might have to wrap up. I might take a break for now and continue this later then. After several attempts. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know what? Here, this is new. This is new. Here, let me try and play a little bit more for now, though.
But if Lady Raggers looked at me and said, please, stop drinking, I'd stop in a heartbeat. I don't care. Like, it's a fun thing.
So
I like the taste. I like all the character of.
Nobody likes the taste of alcohol. That's insane right there. But oh, there we go. Sweet. Yeah, notice that's his criteria is that his wife has to say it. Anyone else said it. And again, if I was part of that, where everyone else saying it, he's going to ignore because I told him, then to be honest, I'm glad. That may be vindictive, but I will freely admit, yeah, it is. Because, I mean, again, what kind of person, not even because of anything personal, but because what kind of person says, constantly hides behind how much they support freedom of speech and then they don't. But those people should not have any success in life. They should be stripped of it, if anything. Here, well, I'll play this and I'll beat this boss.
I like all the things about liquor. But do I need it? I don't think so. I don't generally have a physically addictive personality. Some people will disagree with that, and that's fine. Like, I may be physically addicted to liquor. I'm not opposed to the proposition. Why would I be?
Why indeed?
You're just drunk. Like, maybe.
Oh, shit. Get him.
Maybe
Get him, Nick.
Probably. I don't know.
Get him, Nick.
But in the meanwhile, if you ask me to quit something, I'll just quit it. I'll quit fucking drinking. I'll quit dancing. I'll quit jerking off to James O'Keefe's face or whatever. I don't care what it is.
He doesn't even care.
I'll quit playing.
Yeah, think of something, Nick. Go ahead.
I'll quit playing Southern redneck Tyler Beard loops on rants. Stop doing them.
You mean Percy
Beard?
You. His name is
wipe
Percy.
Up my bloody vagina for you.
See, this is Nick
it's
trying
weird
way too hard to
place.
come up with jokes.
People make up their minds on what you're doing.
There.
But the real thing is what you do is up to you.
Oh, is
but
it?
Long story short,
wow.
You want to have a question for Ty?
No.
Ty and I will answer that a million times. Ty's not here.
He's worthless to ask.
You have a question for us? We'll answer it a million times. Absolutely.
Yeah. How do you get
not offensive.
Vic to win the lawsuit?
And the question is, how on earth will you survive as an alcoholic? We'll go.
That's a good question to ask Ty. How do you get Vic to win the lawsuit? Oh, never mind. He never will now.
I won't. I'll either fix it or I'll die.
Yeah, inshallah.
That'll be fine too. It's such a silly thing. Like, I don't. Guys, do you think I have no idea what I look like?
Yep.
Of course
you
I
don't.
do.
No, he doesn't.
The next question you have to ask is, does that hurt or help me? And that's what you have to do with every. This is the ultimate conclusion of the story, which is it's exclusive of me.
I wish it was the.
This is what you have to do on every fucking internet persona, because you get attached
now
to a front they put up.
Oh, is that
I never tried to put up a front. Maybe I accidentally did. I don't know.
He did.
They get attached to the front, and
supporting freedom of speech was a complete front. It was fake.
The front
was never real.
Go into a certain
never
space.
happened.
They can't do a certain thing. They can't gain an advantage.
It never happened.
Why? Why is that a thing? I don't know, but it is.
Because of people like you.
And then you're stuck with kids who are fucking mad all the time. Why are they mad?
Kids. The kids are mad.
Astro says people just have a problem with alcohol. They don't. They don't have a problem with alcohol. They have a problem with creators. Arclight Redux says, I'm not even drunk. No, I'm drunk. It's great.
See? He admitted
Can you not operate somewhat competently while drunk? What are you? Fucking junior high girl? What are you talking about? Of course I'm drunk. I wanted to be drunk. It's great. That's the whole point.
See, it's great.
Some
You
people
don't
can't
care.
function while drunk. No, I'm functioning exactly in the way I want to. Too drunk, my dude? I'm not even close to too drunk. I'm just in the comfortable version of drunk.
See, he's
He's not
sloshed.
even slurring his words, so stop with the accusations. Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on. One of his own fans just said he's not even slurring his words, and he slurred his words while he was saying that. Let's just try and play through this.
Renegeric says, leave Nick the fuck be. He obviously
leave him
ain't a
alone.
drink. It's obviously
Again, the ultimate soy boy. Leave the popular YouTuber alone. Leave the rich YouTuber alone. That alone says everything that should need to be said about the dishonesty and weakness and thin skin of not only Nick, but all of his fans. Every single last one.
you don't understand alcoholism if you think Nick is one. You don't have to apologize for me.
He wants
Guys,
that, though.
I've been
He
way
does.
more drunk.
And just-
Don't focus on the...
Notice those are the comments he's reading. He didn't ignore that comment. He read it.
alcoholism.
That just
I'm way more
supports him.
drunk than this in funnier ways.
Is he?
Recently. It's
No.
fine. It's great.
Whatever.
Silly thing you do. You have some release. You have some fun. Thistle says Nick's
Amazing.
gonna look back at this stream and have the proof. He's not even close to being good.
shit.
Exactly. This is
No.
silly.
Whatever.
It's, such a silly. This is my favorite part of the internet. You can never. If the internet says
He's
you're
so drunk.
addicted to X, there's nothing you can say to fix it. You cannot fix it.
No.
You do.
What a shame.
Oh, my man likes heroin. You're like, I've never done heroin in my life. That's what an addict would say. Holy shit.
Because of people like
That
you.
is what an addict would say. God damn. How do you fix that? How do you
He's
respond
cornered.
to the accusations that you've done?
When he does that, when he's doing the whoa, yeah, he is utterly cornered. That's what that sounds like.
The worst thing?
I mean, that's what it is. He's making the sound of being utterly cornered. That's what being cornered sounds like. A person who's cornered does that. Does what Nick does there.
You're like, well, I wouldn't do that. And they're like, that's exactly what someone who did it would say. I literally don't know.
That's true.
Guys, you can trust me. I don't know what fentanyl tastes like. I don't know what hydrocodone tastes like. I don't know what oxycodone tastes like. I hate opioids. I had 2 knee surgeries. I took 1 Percocet, I think it was. Everything else was literally max strength.
Literally.
Tylenol, max strength, ibuprofen.
No.
Ibuprofen. I don't give a shit about this stuff. I don't care. But if you
He
looked
can't
at me
even
prior
say
to pulling my
ibuprofen.
knee up to my chest and licking it like it's so hot, you would go like, "Fuck, this man looks like he's in pain."
You come in here with balls?
It's funny. Arclight says first step is admitting a problem. I'll never reach the first step.
No.
Who the fuck cares? Why do
What
you
a
guys,
shame.
why do you guys do a thing? We're like, I
He's actually
really care
doing
about
this.
this other
It don't
person
matter.
does.
None of this matters.
He's saying these things
You don't
basically.
need to. We're all
No.
good. As an 11
He takes an
year
extra big
hydro
bottle lick.
sober alky, you aren't an alcoholic. Love and thank you, Beth. Best wishes. Well, let me try harder then.
You fucking
That means you have to kill your drink.
It's such a weird thing because, like,
Weird.
I know how
It's
much
weird.
I drank. Like, the show is, it's a persona to an extent, right? Like, people are like,
No.
oh, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, no, I know. Like, I
No.
do this. I'm hammered to this point. But they assume you're not. You have no idea. Let's just change that.
Just
There you go.
Whatever.
Don't overcook it. Overcook it's no good. It defeats its own purpose.
That's true.
It defeats its own purpose.
Defeats its own purpose. Yeah. Okay. There.
It's a silly
shit.
thing.
Okay. I will have to leave off on that for now.